Guava, guava, and guava once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to Fruit of the Day, the one and only guava. So maybe you've never seen one, maybe you've never tasted one, or maybe you love them, right? Whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of the guava. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. The guava is a little fruit native to Mexico, Central and South America. Many consider it a magical fruit because of its array of nutrients and medicinal uses. Interesting. Recently dubbed the ultimate superfood, this tropical fruit is considered one of the top antioxidant foods with loads of vitamin C, vitamin A, and lycopene. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little bit of background information about the one and only guava. Now, take a look at the picture. Kind of looks like an apple, right? But I believe the taste is very, very different. So, not only is this fruit native of Mexico and Central and South America, but it's also known as a magical fruit as well as the ultimate superfood. So, if you're interested in eating a guava, then it's time for you to do it. All right, now it's time to dive into a few fun facts. Its leaves, seeds, and even the skin can be eaten or used medicinally. Interesting, never knew that. You will find that guava comes in a variety of shapes and colors, ranging from round to oval, green to yellow, pink to dark red. Now take a look at the picture. As you can see, there are various colors and various shapes and sizes. Interesting. It's recommended guava be selected like a pear, firm but slightly squishy. Also, the best part about guava is that along with it being available at your local grocery store, you can even grow a guava tree in a pot in your home. When grown from seed, the plant will produce fruit in as little as 2 years and continue for up to 40 years. Sounds nice. So for those of us who love guavas, you may want to consider planting your own guava tree. That's right. And in as little as 2 years, it'll start producing the delicious tasting guavas. All right, now it's time for the not so fun facts. Believe it or not, there are no known side effects when guava fruit is eaten as a food. However, when used as medicine in large amounts, right, the only potential dangers are to pregnant or nursing women. So basically, guys, this simply means that the guava is harmless. But of course, if we're consuming a very high amount of guava, a very large amount of guava, then the only people who really need to be concerned, if really at all, are pregnant women or women who are nursing their babies. So there we have it, guys, a few not so fun facts about guavas. All right, it's time to dive into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is all about food labels. Yes, food labels. Now, technically, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, more specifically, when we talk about the 520 rule, ultimately, we're talking about the percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our diagram. As you can see, this is a sample food label, and it has certain parts highlighted in different colors. So I guess you can call that the lavender highlight is what's showcasing the percent daily value column. Now, as you can see, percent DV is basically represented as a percentage, right? So some are on the higher end, some are on the lower end. Now, in a little while, I'll clear that up shortly. Also, you have certain nutrients that are highlighted in yellow, such as total fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. And then we have some nutrients that are highlighted in light blue, such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which basically represent all vitamins and minerals. Now, part of the reason why the nutrients that are highlighted in yellow is to basically showcase that those nutrients in particular do a really good job at promoting disease within the body temple. So if anything, you want to make sure that those nutrients are on the lower end of the 520 rule scale. However, when we talk about the other nutrients such as fiber, vitamins, and minerals, well, those nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. They promote health and wellness within the body temple. So if anything, you want to make sure that those percentages are on the higher end of the scale. Now, let's be a little more clear when it comes to the 520 rule. Basically, if a food item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV, then that food item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food item offers 10% to 19% DV, then that food item is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food item offers 20% DV or greater, then it is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So in a nutshell, when it comes to the yellow nutrients, you really want those nutrients to be anywhere from 0% to 9%. However, when it comes to the blue nutrients, you want those nutrients to be no less than 10% DV. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. Okay, now let's talk about the nutrition facts of guavas. Now for today's lecture, we're going to simply say that a single serving of guava is equivalent to only a half cup, which is basically 100 grams. So in this single serving of guava, which once again is only half of a cup, we're only going to get 68 calories. We're going to get 14.3 grams of carbohydrates, 2.6 grams of protein. Now, let's talk about the vitamins and minerals. First up is vitamin C, coming in at a whopping 381% DV. Now, as stated earlier, we know that any nutrient having a percentage of 20% or greater is considered an excellent source. So notice that 381%, basically what that means is that in just a half cup of guava, you're getting over 3 days worth of vitamin C. Amazing. Almost 4 days worth. Interesting. Next up is lycopene. Now, lycopene is a phytonutrient that has special properties. We'll discuss those in a little while. But a single serving of guava is going to provide us with 52% DV. Once again, that is an excellent source. Next up is fiber, coming in at 21.6% DV. Excellent source. Next up is vitamin A, coming in at 12.5%. Good source. Next up is folate, coming in at 12.3% DV. Good source. Then we have copper, coming in at 11.5% DV. Good source. Next up is potassium, coming in at 8.8% DV. So unfortunately, it is not a good source of potassium. Then we have magnesium coming in at 5.5% DV, not a good source. And lastly is phosphorus, coming in at only 4% DV. So unfortunately, this single serving of guava is not a good source of phosphorus. So there we have it, guys, the nutrition facts of guavas. All right, now it's time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, Coach D wants to drop a few wisdom dimes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to introduce to you the principle of cause and effect, which technically is one of the 7 Hermetic principles. And basically it states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. So what does this all mean, Coach D? Well, it's simple. If you want to be healthy, you have to put the good stuff in so that health is the effect. However, if you want to become diseased, well, you got to put the bad stuff in, therefore the disease is the effect, right? So basically what I'm trying to let you know is that when you eat guavas, you put the nutrients in the body. Now the nutrients are the causes and here are the effects. Number one, guavas, they prevent and treat cancer. Now, once again, we talked about lycopene in the previous slide. But for today, we're simply going to say that lycopene is a phytonutrient found in guavas that allows it to prevent and treat cancer. Also, guava provides more powerful antioxidants than almost any other fruit. Amazing. Now, let's quickly remember that antioxidants basically help to deactivate free radicals. Now, once that happens, well, lots of good things take place. It helps to reduce your likelihood of developing heart disease. It slows down the aging process, right? And then it can also help prevent lots of different other types of diseases, such as cancer. Next up, guavas are a great source of heart-healthy fiber. Now, we've talked about fiber before, and we all know that fiber is what I like to call nature's plumber. That's right, guys. It keeps your tubes nice and clean. Now, when I say tubes, basically I'm referring to your digestive tract, and I'm also referring to your arteries. It keeps the arteries clear of cholesterol, and it also keeps your digestive tract clear of toxins, waste, and everything else that should not be inside of your GI tract. Next up, guavas help lower your blood pressure. Now the question is, which phytonutrient in guavas is responsible for lowering blood pressure? It's easy. It's potassium. And last but not least, guavas help to boost the immune system. Now, which phytonutrient is responsible for that? Well, say hello to vitamin C. So there we have it, guys, the health benefits of the fruit of the guava tree. Now, let's talk about the health benefits of the leaves. That's right, guys. Believe it or not, the health benefits don't stop with the fruit. They continue on with the leaves. Now, some of you may say, well, Coach D, you expect me to go out and eat the guava fruit and the guava leaves? Well, not quite. The fruit, yes. The leaves, no. Believe it or not, the leaves can be used as a tea, or we can somehow use them as an extract. So if you decide to make yourself a little bit of guava tea, right, here's what you'll encounter. Now, the leaves, they treat and prevent diabetes, they prevent gastroenteritis and diarrhea, they act as an anti-inflammatory agent, they prevent fatty buildup in your arteries, plus they're antibacterial, antifungal, and antimicrobial. Now the question is, which phytonutrient is responsible for all those properties? Well, say hello to the flavonoids. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Not only does the guava tree produce the fruit, which is amazing, right? But it also produces the leaves, which, as you can see, have great medicinal uses. All right, it's time to talk about food. Guys, now normally the website that we go to for everything vegan is forksoverknives.com. But for today's lecture, we're going to switch it up just a little bit, right? I want to introduce you to onegreenplanet.com. It's another website that caters to the vegan community. So I did my research and I found two amazing vegan guava recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is entitled Pomegranate Guava Smoothie. Take a look at the picture. Looks amazing. The second recipe that I want to share with you is guava barbecue sauce. Take a look at that picture. Looks amazing, yes? Now, if you are inclined to make and taste either one of these recipes, all you have to do is click on the description box. That's right, guys. I am providing you with a direct link to both recipes. So please do me a favor. click on the link, make it, taste it, then come back to the video and let me know your thoughts. All right, so once again, if you are inclined, please visit onegreenplanet.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, Coach D, thank you for the fun facts. Coach D, thank you for the nutrition facts. But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more guavas, right? Well, guys, the perfect day, and I do mean the perfect day to eat more guavas, is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Yes, Nature Day. Guys, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, maybe you've been living under a rock and you know nothing about the 23% challenge. Well, basically, the challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships. Oh, and it also helps to save good old planet Earth. Now, here's the thing about the challenge, is that it's only 7 days long. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of every single month, the first all the way through the 7th. Now, here's the interesting part, is that because the 23% challenge is the first 7 days of every month, Nature Day is the first day, so that simply means that Nature Day is the first day of every month. So whether it's July 1st, September 1st, or even November 1st, it's always Nature Day. Okay, so maybe you are intrigued. Maybe I have piqued your interest, and maybe you want to know more about Nature Day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature. Now, yes, there are lots of things you can do to get closer to nature. You can go adopt a pet. You can go take a nature walk. But for the challenge, we're simply going to say that getting closer to nature simply means eating more plants. That's right, guys. It's time to put the good stuff in to get the bad stuff out. Now, maybe you're the type of person who is considering transitioning to a whole food plant-based diet. Maybe you're the type of person who wants to treat naturally their diabetes, or maybe their heart disease, or maybe their cancer. Or maybe you're the type of person who just simply wants to lose a little bit of weight, right? Well, if that's you, then I've come up with 3 ways to help make that transition easy. Say hello to a 3% vegan, a 13% vegan, and a 23% vegan. So let's start with a 3% vegan. A 3% vegan is anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 1 day out of an entire month. Next up is a 13% vegan, which is anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 4 days out of an entire month. Now, here's the thing. There are 2 ways in which you can go about this. The first way is to maybe do the first 4 days of the month. The second way, providing the month has at least 4 weeks, is to maybe do 1 day per week. It doesn't matter which day, you decide. And lastly is a 23% vegan. Now, technically, that's what Coach D considers himself, right? So what does that mean? It means that for the first 7 days of every single month, I only eat plant foods and drink only water. Now, the question is, which plant foods do you eat, Coach D? Well, they only come from the 5 food groups of plant foods, which happen to be all fruits, all vegetables and herbs, all nuts and seeds, all legumes, meaning beans and peas, and we cannot forget about whole grains. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the ins and outs about Nature Day. All right. Now, because I want your Nature Day to be successful and delightful, right, I'm going to offer you a little bit of advice. So I want to welcome you to Coach D's tips for Nature Day. Number 1, go visit your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're only going to visit 2 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Why? Because that's where all of the fresh plant foods are located. And number 2, walk on over to the freezer aisle. Why? Because that's where your frozen plant foods are located. Now, some of us may have a little bit of pause because you may think that the frozen plant foods are less nutritious than the fresh plant foods. Well, believe it or not, the nutrient contents of both are very comparable. Next up, go visit your local farmer's market. Now, maybe you didn't know that farmers markets exist. Well, I'm here to let you know that they do. If you are inclined to go visit one but don't know where one is, it's easy. Just go to Google. Do a quick Google search for farmers markets near me, and within less than half of a second, Google will give you your desired results. Now, there are some advantages of shopping at a farmer's market versus a grocery store. Number one, if you're looking for organic produce, organic plant foods, then the farmer's market is definitely the place to be. Why? Because farmers markets only sell certified organic products, right? Also, because the produce comes from a local farmer, that simply means less transportation time, which means less chemicals, less pesticides, and fewer herbicides. Also, because it's grown locally, there's a savings. That's right. So guess what? That savings is then passed on to you, the end consumer. Tip number 3, go to the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. Now, after you visit the produce section, after you visit the freezer aisle, walk on over to the prepared dishes section. Why? Because they have food prepared for you. Now, here's what you got to do though. Walk on over, introduce yourself to the person behind the counter, and ask them if they have any vegan options. Hopefully they do. Ask for a quick sample. Providing you like it, buy it by the pound or maybe even 2 pounds. My last tip to help make your Nature Day successful is to go visit a vegan restaurant. Now, we're not only going to visit them, but we're going to actually sit down and eat, or if you don't have time, get it to go. All right. Now, a lot of people don't know that vegan restaurants actually exist. Well, once again, I'm here to let you know that they do, and they are amazing. One of the reasons why they're amazing is because number one, they hire vegan chefs who, by the way, know exactly how to cook plant foods, and they also know which plant foods to combine to give us the most delicious, most nutritious options. So there you have it, guys. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 tips to help make your Nature Day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day, which comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We want to know which phytonutrient in guavas treats and prevents cancer. Now, I believe I covered that earlier in the video, so if you missed it or if you don't remember it, just simply hit rewind. And of course, write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I gotta ask you to please subscribe, like, and share the video, especially if you love guavas. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out, but always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.